Mahabharata is narrated in the form of a flashback. It's not narrated in the form of a tale that is currently happening. The Mahabharata's narration proceeds not with Vedavyasa or Vaishampayana, but with the words of a sage known as Ugrashrava. Ugrashrava is a descendant of another sage known as Sutaha and is the son of Romaharshana. Ugrashrava arrives in an ashramam of sages in Naimisharanya. Naimisharanya, as most Hindus would know, is a very sacred place on the banks of the Gomti river. It was the heartland of the then Kuru kingdom, over which the Pandavas ruled, over which Bharata's entire dynasty had ruled. Naimisharanya lies in a region which is dotted with many such holy places for places that are holy to Hinduism. And the reason why these places are holy, places like Varanasi, Devaprayag, Naimisharanya itself, Ayodhya, the reason why these places are very sacred is that Rama and Krishna lived in most of these places. They have walked through these places, being the foremost reason. Apart from which, various sages through all four yugas have chosen these regions as regions to sit and do penance. It has been sanctified by the penance of great sages, gods, as well as great Bhagavatas of the past, because of which we consider that the lingering presence of their austerities and their penances still lingers on in these places, and therefore Hindus still flock to these places. So going to these places on pilgrimage has been an age-old phenomenon. It predates even Kali Yuga. It has been happening right from Rama's time, and we can even say before. The Mahabharata is basically a set of tidings that Ugrashrava brings to the sages in Naimisharanya. Ugrashrava now says that he was just a few days back in the court of Hastinapura in the presence of King Janamejaya, where Vaishampayana narrated the entirety of the feats performed by the Pandavas and by Krishna, which is known today as Mahabharatam. And he says that Vaishampayana got knowledge of this completely, entirely from Vedavyasa. Vedavyasa being Vaishampayana's guru. So basically, Vedavyasa, who himself is an incarnation of Vishnu, compiled the entire events of the Mahabharata, passed it on to Vaishampayana, one of his students. Vaishampayana narrated it to Janamejaya, in the course of which people such as Ugrashrava who were in the court happened to hear it. And thenceforward, Vaishampayana, his fellow students, who are all students of Vedavyasa, plus people such as Ugrashrava, go on to narrate it to a lot more people, whose descendants we Hindus today are, because of which we Hindus today possess knowledge of the Mahabharata. This is how the narrative has flowed through the ages. We need to see a little background about who and what Vedavyasa really was, and what was the purpose of his manifestation on the earth. Like I said already, Vedavyasa was an incarnation of Mahavishnu. He manifested as the son of Rishi Parashara. Who was Parashara? Parashara was the son of the Brahma Rishi Shakti, Shakti being the son of sage Vasishtha, Vasishtha being a Manasaputra of Brahma himself. He was created out of the head of Brahma. Till today, those Hindus who recite the Vishnu Sahasranama, or at least listen to it on a daily basis, would know that all of this is stated in the Sahasranama's beginning itself. Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahmanidaye Vasisthaya Namo Namah Vyasam Vasishthanaptaram Shakteh Pautram Akalmasham Parasharatmajam Vande Shukatatam Taponidhim. It literally means I bow down to Vyasa, who himself is a manifestation of Vishnu, the supreme Parabrahman. Vyasa, who happens to be the son of Parashara, who happens to be the grandson of Rishi Shakti, who happens to be the great-grandson of Vasishtha, and therefore bears the title of Vasishtha. Vasishtha literally meaning a descendant of Vasishtha, a direct paternal bloodline descendant of Vasishtha. Thus, Vedavyasa was a manifestation of Mahavishnu. We of course don't count him among the 10 avatars, but he nevertheless is a form of Mahavishnu. Vedavyasa's real name was not Veda Vyasa, it was Krishna Dvaipayana. His real name was Krishna Dvaipayana, which is why we can also rather interestingly call Mahabharata as the tale of the three Krishnas. Krishna hai, being Krishna Vasudeva of Mathura, the avatar of Vishnu, the ninth avataram of Vishnu, Krishna Dvaipayana being Vedavyasa, and Krishna. Krishna being the real name of Draupadi. If you see in Sanskrit, the word Krishna can take a masculine form Krishna hai or a feminine form Krishna also. Draupadi's real name was Krishna, literally meaning one who is dark of complexion. It is because of the insult meted out on Draupadi, as everyone knows, that the war eventually was fought. And the wars, the series of events of the Mahabharata was completely guided by the other two Krishnas, one being Krishna Vasudeva, avataram of Mahavishnu, emperor of the Yadavas, and Brahma Rishi Krishna Dvaipayana, known as Vedavyasa. So why is he known as Vedavyasa? In Sanskrit, the word Vyasanam literally means to divide, division. Before Vedavyasa's time, the Vedas were not divided into four pieces, namely the Rig, Sama, Yajur, Atharvana, which we have today. It was just one continuous set of knowledge known as the Vedas. When Rama, Dasharatha, etc. had learned the Vedas, they learned it only in one continuous fashion. It is Krishna Dvaipayana who realized that as Dwapara Yuga passes and Kali Yuga dawns, the world will become entirely Rajasic and finally will go to a Tamasic path, because of which Brahmins will lose their abilities to learn all the Vedas, to pass them down, and to practice all the necessary austerities required to uphold all the four Vedas, which great sages in the three yugas, namely Krita, Treta and Dwapara, could do. To compensate for this lack of ability, he divided the Vedas into four parts, and among his own followers, he handed one portion to each of them. Yajurvedis, and it is in these lineages of Brahmanas who trace their descent back to the first disciples of Vedavyasa. It is in these lineages till date that the Vedas are being maintained. Yajurvedis therefore will maintain the Yajurveda, Rigvedis will maintain the Rigveda, Samavedis will maintain the Samaveda, and Atharvana Vedis, who are almost extinct today, for all practical purposes we consider them as an extinct group, are supposed to uphold the Atharvana Veda. In Yajurveda itself we have two divisions, Shukla Yajurveda, or otherwise known as the white Yajurveda, and Krishna Yajurveda, the black Yajurveda. Reasons as to why they are named black and white, we will not go into them. Which is the reason why today there's a very common surname in North India called Shukla. Basically, anyone who has the surname of Shukla, basically the surname indicates that they fall in a lineage of Brahmanas who are upholders of the Shukla Yajurveda. Because Krishna Dvaipayana did Vyasanam, that is division, of the Vedas, he is known as Aveda Vyasaha. Vedanam Vyasanam Yena Saha. He, because of whom the Vedas got split into four parts, Saha Veda Vyasaha, he is known as Veda Vyasa. Veda Vyasa therefore serves as the most popular name of Krishna Dvaipayana. Among other names, his most popular name was Veda Vyasa, by which we call him today. This is the background of Veda Vyasa. Now we will proceed further into how exactly he narrated the entire Mahabharata.